Hey, my friend, it's Adrian from Contact Mapping, and there are a couple of new hot social platforms out there that seem to be just gathering such a huge amount of buzz at the moment. And I think there's a lot of people who think, man, this is the next big thing. I got to get going. I've got FOMO. I've got to move my stuff over there. I got to figure this thing out. And I think there's a lot of people that are questioning the value of doing that. And so the two that I have in mind, you're probably wondering based on the title, the two I have in mind are TikTok, which, I mean, that thing is a force to be reckoned with. And the second one is Clubhouse, which is kind of still in beta. It's iOS only. It's an audio app, if you haven't seen it yet, that allows you to kind of go into rooms, and it's like this, kind of like a cocktail party or a dinner party talking about different topics. And it is all the rage. There's all this conversation. There's all this stuff happening around these social platforms right now. And so I want you to ask yourself a question about any social platform that you are trying to figure out if you are going to spend time there. And that question is this thing a hobby? Is it a time waster? Or is it a tool? And I think you really need to be honest with yourself as you ask those questions, because especially in the case of TikTok and Clubhouse, part of what makes them so powerful is because, man, they are rabbit holes that you can spend a lot of time on, that you can waste a lot of time on if you're not really careful. And so being clear about what are your intentions, what it is that you're hoping to get out of the time that you spend on that platform is a really important question. So here's how I would think about it. A hobby is something that doesn't have to have an end in itself other than that I'm learning or I want to enjoy it or it's fun for me or whatever, right? So TikTok for me is a hobby. I have just started posting over there. I'm experimenting with it a little bit, but I am very cognizant that I am not in a position in my life or in my business where I have a lot of time for hobbies. And so I cannot allow myself to get sucked down a rabbit hole inside of TikTok of scrolling through these videos that are fun and entertaining and whatever, even in the name of learning, because that is not something that I am confident yet is going to have a return in my life and in my business. And so until it gets upgraded from being a hobby to being a tool, I can't let it fall into that dreaded third category of a time waster. And it would be really, really easy to have that happen. Clubhouse is something that I believe is a tool for my business, a tool for contact mapping. Why do I believe that's the case? I believe that is the case because I am figuring out inside of that platform how to connect with people that we have a conversation inside of Clubhouse. I hear them speak. I speak myself. We actually start a conversation that moves off of Clubhouse and sustains beyond that platform to someplace else where we have a real conversation. And whether or not we do business together or not remains to be seen in most of those cases, but 100%, I am doing activities, I'm creating activity on that platform that will help me to grow my business. So Clubhouse is a worthwhile investment of my time so long as I am mindful of using it as a tool and not letting it go past that point and into that land of time wasting. So here's how I would define time wasting. You are wasting your time on a social platform if at the end of that time you do not have a tangible outcome of a connection or conversation happening with another human that sustains beyond the time that you spent on that platform, or two, that you haven't learned something that you are immediately able to turn around and teach or implement into your business. So the purpose of spending time on social platforms for business is to connect with people and be able to move those connections someplace meaningful over time, authentically, powerfully, in the right way, or two, to learn something that you can immediately turn around and share and teach with others or implement to help you grow your business. Any time that you're spending that are not ultimately leading towards those two things, you're really wasting your time. And so getting clear on that, putting guardrails around that time is something that I think is really important, and it's going to be especially important in the case of Clubhouse and TikTok, that are so fun and so powerful and so potentially addictive that you can spend hours there. I've heard people say, I was up till 2 or 3 in the morning listening to conversations and doing stuff on Clubhouse. Like, you ain't doing that because you're just growing your business so much, most likely. You got hooked down the rabbit hole. People will talk about scrolling, you know, I've seen some stat that like it's hundreds of videos that people watch in the average session on TikTok. Again, probably past the point where you are using that platform as a tool. So get clear. It's okay to have hobbies. I'm treating TikTok as a hobby right now. I'm spending a little time on there. I'm trying to learn it. I'm experimenting a little bit with creating content there, but it's a hobby. And so I have to watch how much time I use there. Clubhouse, I'm treating it as a tool. I'm using it like a tool. I need to hold myself accountable to create results from that as a tool. Lorraine, who's watching with me here, she has been really figuring out Clubhouse as well. She is committed to using Clubhouse as a tool for her business and not just an endless amount of time wasting that it can be. And so just be really clear about what it is that you're doing, what it is that you need to accomplish as you are growing on these platforms, and own that platform. Don't let that platform own you. That's my biggest takeaway. So last thing, I think these platforms are incredible, both of them, for creating connections that lead to referrals, that lead to conversations, to lead to all kinds of stuff. So 2 things I want to share with you. Next Thursday, the 28th of January, we are doing a webinar. It's free. It is talking about how to generate more referrals, and it ties into everything that we're talking about. And then 2 or 3 weeks after that, on February 11th, we are actually doing a second webinar on how to use contact mapping with Clubhouse. They are both going to be awesome. They're both free. And so if you are interested in checking out one or both of those, if you just comment webinar below, I can get you the info about that and we can get you plugged in. But I would love to see you on both of them. So thanks for watching with me. Hope you're having an awesome day. Thanks for spending some time, and I'll talk to you soon.